and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. All right, friends, it's the last day, December 24th, day 24 of our Costco Brewers Advent Calendar. You have like only a few more hours to get your Christmas gifts, get them wrapped. If you haven't done that yet, what are you doing? Go do what you got to do. Go to the post office where they have trailerfuls of packages that need to be delivered. You probably won't get in time. Anyways, we're taking a look at day 24, and then we'll have a little bit of a wrap up on my final thoughts on this whole Brewers Advent Calendar from Kalea. So if you're following at home, day number 24, it's third from the top, second from the right. It is kind of hidden in the little chateau house. If I can show you the box real quick, it's right there. This started out with 24 beers. We are on the 24th beer. It is light. Like, I can't set it down to get the beers anymore. Let's go ahead and pop this in anticipation. I'm sure it's going to be something great. I'm just going to call it. It's going to be a Pilsner. Or, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I just looked. It's not. It's a 7.4% beer. What is this? Last day. This is a Weizenbock Hell from Landenberger. Honored as one of the world's best Weizenbock beers. Maybe they did save something special for us on the 24th day. This is 7.4% alcohol by volume. This blows out, absolutely destroys any ABV of anything we've had. It's a full, at least 1.5 over anything. I think the second highest we've had is like a 6%. And this says it is brewed and owned by Brewery Landenberger in Neuler, Germany. I can actually say all that. Brewery Landenberger, Neuler, Germany. Let me read it before I say I can read it. So this is 7.5%, and the expiration date on this is May 2022. So this is a Weizenbock, and what that tells us is basically it's going to be an ale. It's going to be like a wheat beer. Yeah, it's a really cool label, purple with some kind of vertical stripes on it, with an eagle on there with a crown. It says Weizenbock Hell, Landenberger, and again, it's honored as one of the world's best Weizenbock beers. So let's go ahead and crack it. We'll put a nose on it. We'll pour it in the glass. We'll put a nose on that, and we'll talk about it. So let's do that right now. So let's go ahead and crack it. Put a nose on the can. You can check out my certified can sniffer t-shirts in the link in the description below. It has a lot of banana, a lot of clove. It very much has that whole kind of Bock, like a Hefeweizen kind of smell. It has that wheat beer aroma, big time. Smells very good. It has a lot of clove, a lot of banana. I'd like to take this time before I pour this to thank my executive producers, Ryan Berry, Rob Santana, Eric Latowski, and Brian Kramer. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and helping bring these videos to the audience here today. So let's go ahead and pour this. Very light, very yellow coming out of the can. Looks like it is not really super cloudy. I guess maybe there is a little bit of a haze going on in there, but it's collecting very nice and golden yellow, bright yellow in the glass. Clear, relatively clear, at least from what I can see. And you take a look at that nice looking label right there. Look at that eagle. And if we look at it, it's got about 3 fingers of head there, 2.5, 3 fingers worth of head. Hold it up. You can kind of, well, actually, can you see me? Yeah, you can see me kind of moving, shimmying around back there like a little elf, like a crazy little elf. And the head is a little, it's not quite bright white. It's a little bit off-white, very compact bubbles. Let's put a nose on the glass. Woo, it's like a magic potion. It smells, has that nice banana, nice clove aroma in there. It's a really nice smell. Almost has the clove is kind of on the stronger end, so it's almost, to me, I kind of think of it almost as like a licorice kind of, borderline licorice aroma, but I do like the smell of it, and the head has subsided quite a bit. Now I'm at about 1.5 fingers. We had a max, maybe 3, so let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. Again, 7.4%. Wow. Again, I thought this was going to be a Pilsner, so let's try it out. Cheers. Mouthfeel is on the medium side, actually. It's not all, I've been so used to all these beers, well, almost all these beers being very light, very crisp, very kind of refreshing, and mouthfeel is very on, on the thin side. Most of them have been lagers or pilsners. This one is a little bit more on that medium side. Getting a lot of sweet aromas, getting a little bit of that banana, just a tiny bit of like a banana, but a really big, really full-bodied clove flavor. It's got a lot of clove. It's not so much like, I think I'm kind of like comparing this in my head to a Hefeweizen, which has a little bit more of a banana, a little bit more of a clove. This is more of a little bit of a kind of biting clovey kind of taste, a little bit more of a, like I said, I think of it as almost being licorice-like, but it's not quite like black licorice. It's not that strong. It's not that gripping, but it is something kind of on the border of having a similar taste to that. You could think of like the clove being Michigan and licorice being Ohio, and this is like the Toledo, right? So it's not quite, it's almost Michigan, but it's not quite Michigan. It's like right on the border. That's probably an awful analogy, but that's all I got right now. But it is a really nice taste. It's a really nice change of pace from, again, all these Pilsners, all these lagers. And that kind of leads me to my final thoughts on this whole box. You know, it's 24 beers. It was heavy as hell when I got it at first, and I thought, I'm never going to be able to get through 24 of these beers in 24 days, because I don't really, you know, other than the reviews, I don't really drink all that much. It's not something that I do every night. And this, doing it, you know, having to do every night, or having to do maybe a couple in a row, doing a batch of them, has been a little tough. But it's not, you know, insurmountable. Obviously, they're shorter videos, so it's something that I'm able to do. The thing that I was hoping a little bit more for was that we'd get a little bit more variety. I'm just kind of keeping a mental tally of what we've had so far. And I want to say, out of the 24, 18 of them, 17 or 18 of them have been in the lager family. So Pilsners, lagers, I mean, I can't even think of the other ones that we've had, the Helles lagers, you know, different kinds of lager families. We've had one stout, we've had one pale ale, we've had one IPA, and we've had, I want to say, so that's 3 plus 20, we've had. This is the 24th beer. You're kind of hoping it would be something like really kind of blow you out of the water spectacular. It's a good beer, I mean, but it's not something I would much rather have gotten an IPA. And I'm not even that big of an IPA guy. I would have liked to have seen other styles. Like I would have liked to have seen maybe darker lagers. You know, we got a couple Marzens, so that's nice. We got a couple, I think we got like an amber or something that I thought tasted somewhat like an amber. I just wish there would have been a little bit more variety. I probably should have known going into this that it's German craft beer, so they're going to give you like the prototypical or the stereotypical German beer, but it would be nice, and they're all, you know, so many of them were from that brewery Eggerer, that it would have been nice in future editions for them to kind of, you know, they probably have a contract with brewery Eggerer, so they have a bunch, they have, you know, a third of the beers are from them, but it would have been nice to have seen other, I mean, this is supposed to be imported German craft beer, so I don't know how the craft beer scene is in Germany, but it would have been kind of nice to see other styles that they would have just grabbed from random places. Like, again, maybe it's me being a dumb American and thinking like, oh, a Berliner Weiss is a German style, right? It's got Berliner in it. I mean, you know, I would think that you would get something like that, but we didn't get that. We got a lot of just kind of samey beers. There are only so many different ways that you can say, oh, it has a light and a crisp mouthfeel. I get a nice honey flavor, a sweetness. I get a taste of straw, or I taste hay, or you know, something like that. You know, there were only a few of those Pilsners. Turbo Pils really stands out in my mind, and I can't even think of who it was from, but it was the white and green label, and it was like a hoppy Pilsner. And even seeing stuff like that, that would have been something to me that would have been just a little bit more exciting. So those are kind of my final thoughts on this Costco Brewers Advent Calendar 2020. Will I buy it again next year? I really don't know. I'm going to try and see if someplace local's doing something, maybe a local bottle shop, or maybe even try to get with some other YouTuber or somebody, you know, just to say, hey, let's trade. Let's do local Advent calendars. I'll send you 24 beers. You send 24 beers. We'll try and, you know, mask them and say, open it on this day, and maybe get a little bit more variety in there, maybe just a little bit more of a crafty kind of thing from across the United States. So that's just, or your local, you know, state thing. So that's really my kind of thoughts on the whole Costco Brewers Advent Calendar. Would I buy it again? I don't know. I'm going to look for the alternatives. But hopefully you liked the series. Let me know if you did, if you didn't, if there were things you didn't like. I know some people like the singing, some people didn't like it. I'd like to know what the kind of consensus is on that. But, you know, it's all in good fun. We're not trying to send a man to the moon. We're just drinking some beer and having some fun. So with all that being said, let me sign off. I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed the whole series. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.